Morning viewers, I can now officially, with permission, release the first preview video of Big Time Gaming's new Megaways monster, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? And here we go. And there's your game. Obviously it's demo mode because it's not released till November. I believe it will be exclusive at one casino for the first couple of weeks. And let's chat to you a bit about what I've learnt from Big Time Gaming. You will notice it's a standard Megaways, and as with Extra Chili, your scrolling bar of symbols occurs at the bottom as opposed to the top on Bonanza. What I do like is familiarity. You get used to a model, a construct, and as you will notice, the symbols have been modernised, but they're the same. You get the same values for the symbols: 50x for your 6 of a kind diamonds, 7.5x for your 6 of a kind red gems, and so on, but we'll come to that in the pay table. Now let me tell you, this is a new slot. It's been built from the bottom upwards. The maths and spread of wins and the feature constructs are totally different to what you're used to. The first thing I've noticed playing it for several hours is you tend to get more of those bigger wins of 10 to 40x in the base game. You also will notice on it your full Megaways, 117,649, your full Megaways all the way spins occur more frequently and in the feature too. Therefore, that would indicate you've got a bit more volatility, a bit more spice added to this game. So, we'll have a little spin. You can see the scatter symbols. Your feature trigger is 3 scatters, the same as on Extra Chili. You need 3 instead of 4, which will give you 8 free spins. And re-triggers will therefore be 4 and 8 respectively when you get 3 or 4 down the bottom during the free spins. But first of all, let's have a little spin to get the feel of the sound. It is the sounds you'll be very, very familiar with from the TV show. The graphics are very crisp and clear. One of the things some people mentioned about Extra Chili is it wasn't as easy to read the scatters once you've been the symbols rather, once you've been used to playing Bonanza and that, which were much more distinct. So you've got your usual Big Time Gaming win count up sounds, and obviously the features and the sounds you love will have been retained. So we'll have a few spins before we go into the pay table. I must admit I like it that the symbols are easy to distinguish and nice and clear like they are in Bonanza, and I'm sure some of you will agree. The background sounds and music are less frantic and grating than they are on Bonanza and Extra Chili. Although, like any game, if you're enjoying a game, you tend to overlook the sounds if you're doing well on it or anticipating something big's going to happen. So there you go, there's a feel for the game as you're wild. And this game is very much about how the feature's constructed. So we'll go and have a look now. And there's your pays. You'll be familiar with those from other Megaways slots. Exactly the same pays as Bonanza's got, so you'll know exactly what they are. And your extra reels at the bottom, as you've just seen. And you get a reaction for every win, and symbols cascade from above. And there's your 3 scatters that you need to trigger the 8 free spins. You've got an unlimited win multiplier as usual. And there you go. You can get your re-triggers of 4 or 8 spins respectively for 3 or 4. Now, here is your feature spins gamble. You will notice that 10 spins and 20 spins and 50 are in white, which means you cannot lose a gamble on those. It's your safety net like you had on the original program at firstly 1 and 32,000, then it later became, was it 2,000 and 50,000? You had a safety net when they changed it slightly and they reduced the scale from 15 wins to 12 wins, didn't they, on the TV show? So basically that's what you got there and there. Now you will be aware your standard trigger of 3 scatters is 8 spins. So you're going to have to gamble to get to your first safety net. And the gamble construct consists of 3 lifelines, 50-50 split, ask the audience and phone a friend. Now bear in mind you're only going up by 2 spins in the early stages, so 10 to 12 is a raise of 20%, isn't it? 10 to 12 spins. 8 to 10 is a raise of 25%. And the gamble odds tend to reflect that, although it's not guaranteed. So if you ask the audience, you might get an answer at 80%, thinking you're very likely to win, and you might not. You do more often than not, but it's not guaranteed. So rather cleverly, they've worked the odds of winning the gamble into the answers the audience gives. And you tend to get asked the audience in the early stages, as I will show you when I trigger the feature. There's your lifelines that I just explained, your 3 lifelines you use for the gamble of spins. And there's your megaway. So we're going to go to the help. So we can just go through this quickly. Mega reel, 6 reel slot, autoplay, we know that. We know all this. Nobody has not played a big time gaming slot by now. Extra reel below 2, 3, 4 and 5. Reactions are replaced by new symbols, etc, etc. You've seen the pays, the wild only appears on the scrolling extra symbols at the bottom. The Millionaire icon game logo is the scatter. And there's your rungs you've just seen of the 3 spin scale, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 25, 30, 40 and 50. Now imagine getting 30, 40 or 50 spins with an increasing multiplier. You could get some colossal wins, but correspondingly it ain't going to be easy to get there. You do get 2 extra, or 1 extra position on the scale for every extra scatter, so you come straight in at 10 free spins safety net with a 4 scatter trigger. I believe it's got the maximum of 8 scatters to trigger it, like Bonanza has, which would get you in at 18 spins. So you won't get a 32 spin trigger like Bonanza for 8 symbols, but you'll probably find you had some pretty favourable gambles to get you to 20, 22, 25 spins from there. I haven't done it, so I wouldn't know. And the only place you can lose, as I said, is your basic trigger of 8 spins. You can get nothing if you lose the gamble to 10. After that, you've got safety nets. Lifelines, 3 spins, we know about those, and your re-triggers. There's your RTP, 96.25%, 96.24%. Which is the range of most online slots nowadays, between 96 and 96.75%, so that's good. So we get out of there and we'll get a feel for the game again. But the impression I got from playing it for several hours is the base game is slightly more volatile than it is on Bonanza. If you look at the reels, your big reels of 5, 6, 7 symbols tend to be slightly more scarce, I've noticed. I'm not saying that is the case, that is my impression. But I have noticed a higher incidence of bigger wins in the base game. And you don't repeatedly, like on Bonanza for example, get bang bang 1, 2 scatters, reels 1 and 2 on very frequently either. You don't get that very frequently. We've got a chance of a feature here. And we've got another chance. And we didn't get it. So I'm going to leave it on autoplay and I will cut in for any big win triggers or features. but it's more soothing to play. You got that gentle background Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music. It's not as urgent and as aggressive maybe as other ones. But bear in mind, as I said, you've got a different engine to this game. It's a different mechanic rather on the Megaways engine. It's a new math model. And like many people, I initially thought, oh, it's the same as this, same as that, because you're conditioned by previous occurrences of the theme and of the game rather, of the mechanic, and you automatically think that every game you see will be the same, but it's not, as we will discover. The feature frequency on my testing was approximately 200 to 250 spins it would drop in. It was rare to go more than 300 spins without it when I tested it for several hours yesterday. But obviously if you've got a significantly more frequent feature frequency than you have on, say, Bonanza, obviously the average pay isn't going to be as high. You can't have both. You can't have a near 100x average feature and expect to get it every 200 to 250 spins. But there is some huge potential in this feature. So I shall cut back in when anything of significance happens, which I'm sure it will soon. Just had a nice red gems combo dropped in there. I'm 200 spins in, I haven't had the feature yet, I'm just over 200 spins in. But I have noticed you tend to get more all the way spins on this, as I said before. We just need to get the elusive feature. I don't have full demo capabilities here, so I can't trigger it myself or use a feature buy because there isn't a feature buy. Which is perhaps good because that'll be the next thing the UKGC targets, feature buys. Because of the high cost, so maybe it is prudent to not have them. Isn't all the ways? God. Oh, I love the Millionaire commercial break hooter that comes in when you get a big win. I didn't notice that before. Well, I got that big win drop in there. It does that that you used to get before the end of the show, didn't you? Always on a heart stopper. It always quit on the answer to a question, so you had to come back and watch it the next day. Well, we got that noise here. Like I said, you tend to get quite a lot of wins in the 10 to 20x range, more than you do on Bonanza. So there is a different feeling to this slot, most definitely. I've had a few all the way spins, but that's the biggest one. Well, we've had a feature drop in, and here is the feature. Go ask the audience probably. Yeah. Oh dear, that doesn't look good. And in my experience, when you open these games up for the first time and play them, you always lose the first gamble. It's telling me I've got a nearly 2/3 chance on B. Again, if it wants to pay, it'll pay. So I've got a feeling I'm going to lose here. Yeah. So that's feature over. I didn't get to the 10 spin safety barrier there. So onwards and downwards. Let's see how it goes. Remember, I've got no feature buy, so I've just got to wait for another one to come in naturally. That was as good as telling me to collect it with the 65% there. Well, we've got a 3 scattered trigger with a cascade. And we're in again. Let's hope we can get to the 10 spin safety barrier this time. I need at least 75% on the answer here. Oh, that's a 50 bloody 50. Bloody hell. Okay, we'll start again. Try third time lucky. Well, we've had a drop in. The features are coming in thick and fast now. Now, I'd love to see the first person who gets up to 50 spins. Because you think about it, when you're on 20, you've got no safety net. So say it's quite likely you'll get to 22 with just a small raise, or maybe 25. If you get to 30 or 40, that's a hell of a drop. 23 spins down to there. So it's going to take a brave man to gamble, or a brave player to gamble up to 50 spins. Because if you're on, say, 30 or 40, you lose a hell of a lot. And you know that 10 free spins can pay a hell of a lot in this game. So if you lose 10 or 20 free spins on those gambles, you're potentially throwing away hundreds or maybe even thousands of times stake in the free spins. So go for D for done over. Oh, fucking hell, 3 out of 3. Well, there you go. I didn't have to gamble that. I could have walked away with the 8 spins. But we don't want to give you that. We want 10. Okay, it's dropped in. That's 4 features and about 120 spins. Now, I'm just thinking, what a brilliant idea we could have had on this slot. We could have had a random Major Charles Ingram appear. If you don't know who Charles Ingram is, he's a British Army major who went on this programme, and he got, in the UK, and he got people to cough, like once for A, twice for B, and so on, and people in the audience were giving him the answers, so he got to £1 million. But what we could have had here is a random Major Charles Ingram appear saying there, like you get on Ruby Slippers with Dorothy appearing. Now, or the princess or whatever. So you have a random Major Charles Ingram, and what he'll do is, as you hover over the answers, he'll cough on the right one and guarantee you to get you all the way to 50 spins or 20 or something. That'd be a brilliant idea, wouldn't it? Anyway, sorry, it's telling me to go for D. Oh, I've actually won. That's the 4th time lucky. So again, it's A. Just go with what it does. Oh Jesus! Right, so we've got 10 free spins to watch anyway. One thing that does sort of not annoy me slightly, it confused me slightly, is you've got the game logo there. So when you get 2 extra spin scatters in view, you sort of tend to sort of line them up with your eye with that one to make 3. Well, there you go, 48x. We're going to play one more feature before we conclude the video. Okay, this will be the final attempt. It's just dropped in. D for done over. It's got to be lucky one day. Didn't you just know it? Oh well. I'm not going to be the next Judith Keppel. So, that's Big Time Gaming's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Megaway slot. I think we've pretty much been through everything. Not a bad game at all. Got a feeling there's going to be some big winners on it. Thank you for watching, gamble responsibly, and see you next time.